If you want to check out the whole show, hit the link at the bottom of the screen, available exclusively on odds.com. The league will start with Dutch Boy Fresh Mavericks Hornets. Take it away.
Okay, so I actually had, pretty solid play on this game, but then coming in, a couple more players out than I thought due to this COVID. It just continues, to put a knuckle in everything. But I do like the Mavericks. And actually mentioned KP's was probable for the game against the Pelicans, so he should be ready to rock and roll. Like you mentioned, Burke backed up. Luka came in off the bench at 29, just came first game back too. It was great, so not as big of a miss with Jalen Brunson. But so many question marks with this game. I don't know if I want to make anything official at this time. So I do have a really very strong lean to the under. The under's 4-2 in the last 6 versus Dallas. The under's 8-2 in the last 10 overall for the Hornets, and 4-1 in the last 5 games for the Hornets. And the Mavericks are 5-2 in the last 7 to the under. Now, I was looking at about 220, I believe, was what I was seeing. Mm-hmm. With more people being out, with KP being in, I think I might even get a better number on this, even if I wait. More questions answered also the later I wait. So I do lean strongly to the under 220. And the Mavericks are 6-0 ATS in their last 6 in Charlotte, and 4-1 ATS overall this season. Like I mentioned, they got KP coming back. You talked about Hardaway. Personally, I believe they're just clicking, and they are missing some pieces, but they're very deep. And getting KP back, I mean, obviously he's not going to be 100%, but he's a star. I won't say superstar, but he's a star in this game. And I know he wants to get it clicking with Luka. So I expect big things from them. I don't know if it'll happen in game 1, but the only way I could look here is the Mavericks, and I'm probably just going to wait a little longer. It already dropped, like you said, from 5 to 4. So I'm just going to sit here and wait, but I definitely lean heavy on the Mavericks and under.
Interesting. The under makes a lot of sense. The leading indicator books didn't open it at 219. The leading indicator offshores opened it up at 220. Let's see what Wham Bam has to say about this spot. Mavericks Hornets, take it away.
Yeah, I was looking the other way here all the way, and the reason why is because those guys are out. And if you could lose one of those guys, I'm just going to say Josh Richardson, Finley Smith, and Bronson. Those 3 guys are major contributors into this team. You don't want to lean too heavily on Porzingis coming off an injury. Don't want to lean too heavily on Luka. I think if one of those guys are out, you got to be looking at the dog. This is the best game that they played so far in the season was the Charlotte Hornets when they played Dallas and beat them already. They played 44% for 3, 51% from the field. And you're getting more time from LaMelo Ball, like you said, Jimmy. I like that. He got 31 minutes these last 2 games, I believe, as far as the average. And yeah, they had to bounce back. Welcome to the NBA moment. Several times, honestly, I would say several times in the league. But he continues to play and shows charisma. He is leading the team, and I think in rebounds, if I'm not mistaken, he's leading the team in rebounds, bro. And he's getting more. That's the reason why he got into it with Bismack Biyombo. I don't know if you guys seen. He got into it with Bismack Biyombo. I guess he was chasing. Got some of those rebounds from him. Took it slightly. And Bismack Biyombo is slightly second. It's slightly second. Look at that. It's kind of funny. It's kind of funny. But going into this game, I'm leaning Charlotte all the way. I'm looking at this as a possible money line look as well. If it does go off, one of those guys are out. Like I said, Josh Richardson, Finley Smith, or Bronson, either one. It's you're getting a good time right now. So I'm actually leaning to lock that in, but I didn't write that down. Like I told my guys, if I'm not writing it down, I'm not taking it. That's my strong lean right there. Might be something else hit in the morning.
Yeah, LaMelo brought props, at least with assists and rebounds, is interesting. He sure is rolling right now. His rebounds and assists are sitting at 13.5. It's minus 132 to the over. 13.5. He got 14 boards in his last game.
It's crazy.
13.5. And then you have to think that with everybody out of the lineup, Luka's going to go off. But he's not been putting up as many points lately.
He can't hit that 3. He's been struggling from deep.
Yeah. I like the under. That under makes a ton of sense to me.
I think, I'm glad you brought that up, Wham, about last game. I didn't mention that, but they got blown out actually against Charlotte. And that was a game after they beat LA, I believe, by 50. So I think they were, feeling themselves a little bit. And like you mentioned, they shot 51% from the field goal and 44% from three. That ain't happening again, bro. But I mean, you know, with the injuries, I'm not gonna go the other way. And if you that high on it, like you were on Piston, I'll just stay off that. But I do like this under, Jimmy. I think we'll go ahead and lock that in.
Well, let's do it. Let's lock that in right now. We'll go over to odds.com and see what we are dealing with here on the odds page. Move over to total, full game. See if we can get you, if there's maybe a 220.5. There is a 220.5 on the board. Look at that at BetMGM.
You think it'll continue to go up because KP's coming back?
No.
And the people going out?
No, I think we wake up in the morning, it's in the 2 high teens.
Okay. Yeah, let's rock and roll with that.
All right. So
I just think people think KP points, but yeah, you're right.
I think I can understand the casual bettor thinking that, but I think the sharps are going to think not. They're going to think rhythm will be out of place. Under 220.5 at BetMGM at minus.
Yeah, because I have 220 here, so yeah, I like that.
I mean, just being logical here. I mean, if they're only going to have about 8 players out there anyway, those legs are going to get tired, man. They're going to be trying to slow the pace down themselves. So, hey, you know.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, wow. Are you coming in? It's not on your list.
It's not on my list, but I honestly, I do like this play, though. And you're saying you're getting 220. This kind of makes sense. The last game, it set at 225, and it did go under as well. I do like this play, honestly. And you know what? This is not on my list. It's not something I wrote down. And it sounds funny. But the more we're looking at this, I do think the pace is slow. But then again, I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to leave it alone.
Stick to your guns, bro. Be like Jimmy.
This.
Jimmy's tough, man. He only bets 2 days a week, 1 day a week.
That's smart. That's very smart.
I can't believe that shit when he says it. I'm like, what the fuck?
Well, if I wasn't hitting at 60+%.
Hey, you bet on a lot of other shit too. You got a lot on your hands. But I'm just like, damn, that's some strength right there to bet NBA only when we do shows. That's a beautiful thing.
It's
I can't do that.
It is tough.
It's working.
I told myself I wasn't gonna touch the card today, and I still had 3 plays. You know what I'm saying?
My palms are leaking as we talk about it, though. I'm just sweating buckets. All right, I deleted it. Wham. So Dutch is on the under 220.5 minus 110 BetMGM. I'm on the under 220.